Hey guys, Justin here. Welcome back to the channel. And finally, I got my HDMI 2.1 update on my Sony X900H. I've been waiting for this update for a few days now, and I noticed a lot of you guys already got it, but for some reason here in San Diego, it was taking forever. But finally, I got it, and I installed it. Super easy, the setup and everything. And I'm so excited because, well, this update only brings half of the features from HDMI 2.1. They're kind of important, but you guys probably already heard about this. It brings 4K and 120 Hertz and also eARC. So for audio, this is perfect. And for gamers, well, I haven't been able to test 4K 120 Hertz. I don't even have one of those new NVIDIA cards, but I disconnected my Xbox One X and I went through it, and I wanted to show you guys my opinion of what I think about this update. So let's get right into this, guys. Let's do this. All right, so 4K 120 Hertz. Of course, we'll be able to see more of this in the next generation of console, which is right around the corner. So excited, even though I haven't even been able to pre-order the PS5 or the Series X, only the S, Series S. But anyways, we'll get into that. But in this update, like I said, we only have like half of those features. I connected my Xbox One X, and as you guys can see, I only have the option of, well, pretty much whatever I had before. There is no variable refresh rate. There is no auto logging latency. And I also noticed that there is no 1440p with 120 Hertz option, which is very odd. I know that many other brands like Samsung already has and already been using this option since back in 2018. I still have my Q70T, which I have that option as well as freezing too and auto logging latency. But for some reason, Sony is just lagging behind. Even Vizio, I think they already have those HDMI 2.1 features, and of course LG. So if you guys already want to have those features already, make sure you get either the LG or Samsung. Vizio, well, you gotta try that too as well if you like to. But for some reason, Sony is lagging behind. I posted a community tab. I posted a picture and I talked about that, and I noticed there's a lot of comments in that community tab. And I noticed some of you guys were telling me that the console, the PlayStation 5, is going to do the rendering, or is going to do the upscaling, also the TV. So as long as we have 4K 120 Hertz, we should be fine. We don't need 1440p. So I'm a little confused. So guys, correct me if I'm wrong. But for example, I'm not a real expert about this, but just hear me out. When you connect, or when you're a PC gamer, right, and you want to have higher performance, usually you drop down resolution, right? Because resolution takes a lot of resources to run games in high resolution. So usually you either have to choose between resolution and performance, right? Or if you choose high resolution, then you gotta drop the quality maybe to medium settings. So I feel like it works the same way with consoles. Maybe it could be a little bit different, but to be honest, guys, you know, even though the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 are saying that some of the games are going to be running at 4K with 120 Hertz, it's really hard for me to believe that, because even the most powerful video cards right now available, they struggle to run games like that. You know, if you have a PC that costs more than $2,000, you're gonna have problems running game even at 4K 60. Now imagine running games at 4K 120 Hertz plus freezing plus HDR plus dynamic HDR plus the 3D audio or Dolby Atmos. It's a lot of resources that this is going to take. So it is I find it hard to believe that all of these games are going to be running at 4K 120. Maybe some, but we'll see what we have to sacrifice. We still have to wait for the consoles to arrive. But so the reason that I like to have that feature is because if games are not going to be running smoothly at 4K 120 Hertz or maybe a 4K 60, I want to have that option of 1440p 120 Hertz or at least 1440p 60. This next generation of consoles honestly, I don't expect to see more higher resolution because 4K is 4K, and for that we already have the Xbox One X. I want to see games running at better performance, higher performance. And for that reason, I still believe that having the option of 1440p natively is going to give us that option. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was reading a commentary about the new game Watch Dogs Legions coming for the PlayStation 5. And I noticed that that game is going to be running at 4K 30. And to me, honestly, I was kind of disappointed because, like I said, the point of the next generation of consoles is because I want to see games running with better performance, higher frame rate. That is the main reason why I want to buy the next gen consoles. For that 4K 30, I'll stick to my Xbox One X or maybe my PlayStation 4 Pro. What's the point of me spending more money for a console that is going to look pretty much the same as last generation of consoles? So that is why I still feel like having the option of 1440p natively is going to make a big difference. Because if the TV doesn't have that option, then all it's going to do is run games at 4K. It doesn't matter if the game it's developed at 1440p. The TV is going to have to upscale it. But if you have the option of running games at 1440p, maybe we'll have the option of choosing higher performance. Kind of like games that I've seen already, for example, Borderlands 3, you have the option of performance or resolution, right? And I don't know if you guys noticed, but when you make that switch, the resolution will drop to 1080p and it will be running at 60 hertz. But then if you choose 4K, then it will drop down to 30 hertz or 30 frames per second. So honestly, I prefer to have the better performance because it just feels much better, especially because it's a shooter game. But I much rather have 4K and 60 hertz. But if the console is not able to do that, well, at least give me 1440p. I prefer 1440p than 1080p. And that is what the Sony TVs are capable of doing. They're capable of doing 1080p 120 hertz. But you will notice the difference when you drop all the way down to 1080p, from 4K to 1080p. So I much rather have the option of 1440p and 120 hertz, or at least 60 hertz. But I don't want to see any more 30 hertz or 30 frames per second. It's a major difference. It's a big impact. So another benefit that I see of having 1440p natively is that I noticed that the input lag drops even lower. So for example, if you go to rteens.com and you start looking at the input lag numbers between 4K 60 and HDR, and also, or 4K 60, just 4K 60, and 1440p, you'll notice that the 1440p option has a much lower input lag. Sometimes like half of the number. It could be 10 milliseconds, and then 1440p could be 5 milliseconds. It's almost half for the most part. So I much rather have lower input lag, especially if you are a gamer that plays a lot of shooters, first-person shooters, high-demanding games. So, and I also remember that Digital Foundry made a video about this resolution in performance a few months ago, and something that they mentioned is that having this 1440p 120 hertz option makes games run even smoother because it has a faster response time. So now if you combine having a faster response time and lower input lag with that option, even though the Xbox One X doesn't really have any games that natively support that resolution, it made it run better. So now I feel like the Series X will have a better, if they have that option, games are going to be run better. So hopefully we'll see that option on the PlayStation 5 as well. But like I said, to me, I think having that resolution natively on these TVs is a great option. Hopefully Sony gives us that option in the future with an update. But so far, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you guys are interested about that. If you want to see more options, well, you have LG OLEDs, LG NanoCell TVs. They have that option as well. Samsung TVs from 2018, 55-inch and up. They have those options as well. and I believe Vizio. So you guys check those out. In the meantime, thank you so much for stopping by. Let me know in the comments down below what do you guys think about this. I'm Joster, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Joster out.